Welcome to another episode of Foggy Entrepreneur Connect. I'm chilling with a good friend of mine, and I'll let her introduce herself. It's a month of love, it's a month of giving, and today we're talking to someone that owns something close to those things that resembles love and so forth. A business that makes people feel good, massages and stuff. But I'll let her introduce herself, and we're gonna get to know more about her. So, ma'am, how are you doing? Please introduce yourself.
I'm good. My name is Olwethu. Surname is Ketsekile. And the company that you are here in is called Olwethu Wellness and Beauty Boutique.
Yeah, but before we talk more about your company, we want to learn more about you as an entrepreneur. So where did the bug start? When did you decide, I think this thing, entrepreneurship is for me?
Well, I didn't know if entrepreneurship was for me or the bug started because, I grew up in the Eastern Cape. My parents, pretty much mother, teacher, father, policeman. And they had no home when I was born. We were staying with my grandmother. And I used to watch my mother as we were born go and be a teacher full time. And then come back home on Saturdays, Sundays, make people's hair and get extra money from that. And I think growing up from such an environment, then you learn from a very early age that, you also want to make sure that you have multiple streams of income. And I think then in grade 8, that's when the bug, at least grew a little bit better or more because I did business economics. And from there, I just fell in love with business, what I can do. Funny enough, I'm employed full time. And I tell people be employed in my spare time, but in my own spare time, I believe that having your own company, having your own business, employing people, creating jobs, and standing for something is what really life is all about. And I think that that's because for me, entrepreneurship is daily. Anybody that knows me would know that I've failed in many businesses. I've started many businesses and I've failed at them. But I do think that this is the one because everything was a build up to this. Okay. This is just the start.
So this interesting, you talk about failing in business. Before we go into that, one thing that I understand, we all have 24 hours. Yeah. How do you balance from now 9 to 5 and also running a business? How do you balance your time?
I don't know if it's balancing really, but entrepreneurship or business is in me. Whether I am at work, I always strategize, give inputs, be a business partner at work, be different to the work that I do. And then in terms of, business, I'm always here. Like I spend 2 to 3, 4 hours just making sure that I'm working on my business on a daily basis. So typically my day starts from 5 o'clock and ends at 12 o'clock at night. So 4 hours of sleep is for the dead.
So what is some of, I'm shy to call it failures. I prefer calling them lessons or school fees. What is some of those lessons that you learned with those failures that you referred to earlier on?
So for me, it's not learning failures because a textbook and a book can teach you theory. And if you think about it, theory only consists of about 20% of what you know. The reality is the 70% of you actually doing or applying the theory that you've learned, whether it's from school. The most people that are successful are dropouts, mainly because they went and learned through experience. And so for me, whatever business that I started, I've always picked up something, what not to do. And I think some of them would be advertised before time, before you open up, create the hype if you've got the luxury to do that. Unfortunately, most of us entrepreneurs, we are self-funding. So if you're self-funding, you open up a business, you try and hype it up. But in terms of space, you'll only know when you have space. And for the next 3 months or so, you're going to have to learn that you should have at least have had capital just to cover the main costs in going into business. But I think over and all, 6 months should be your give and take if you really are looking for sustainability in the long run. Otherwise, your business might fail within a year, 6 months, and you might give up.
Yeah, you touched on some of the critical things that I'm actually interested to know more about. You spoke about capital and self-funding. So how did you, manage to fund your first business? How did you raise that money? Because whenever I speak to aspiring and entrepreneurs that are doing great, one of the common thing that always comes out is money. It's capital. We don't have money to do that. We don't have money to do this. So if someone is out there wanting to start a business, or they're interested to start a business and they don't have the money, what are some of the advices or some of the routes they can take to raise that capital?
So for me, I think how I started, I'm not sure other people,
Yeah.
but how I started is, taking pictures of things that I'm interested in selling and putting them out on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp. And then a person would be interested in that. Maybe it's a bag or a shoe, and they would order that, and then you put a deposit, then go buy that, and then you start making profits from that. Other streams of income is joining network marketing. Believe me, I've joined about 4 or 5 just to raise capital and just mastering selling or putting yourself out there in terms of rejection, how people are going to respond. They might reject you, and there's quite a lot of people in the market selling the same things. And then how do you harness, how do you have tenacity for that? So those are some of the things that I think I've learned. But and you, of course, save up the money that you can get from network marketing, anything that you can put your hands on that's legal, to be able to raise the funds if you don't want to get in trouble later on. I think that would be the best advice, and from there just start. But I always think that you can just start from where you are. If you are able to do house calls, do that. Just start. If you've got the skill or some skill, just start. It doesn't matter how small. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to start.
Yeah, that's. I like what you're saying. One of our campaigns, Foggy Footwear, is just start. Things happen when you start the process. Once you start the process, the learning starts, and you start knowing how to approach some of these challenges. So what are some of your challenges that you're facing currently in your business?
So I would say the first challenge was getting the right people in the business, because mine thrives on having the right skills, being able to do therapy, makeup, and all of these other skills. And by the way, I'm not a trained cosmetology. I haven't studied it. It's something that God given. So I've learned at a young stage, like I said, the narrative of my mother. So, but interested because I understand business. And so understanding business, and what I have, one of the most difficult was just getting the right people. We've had to employ people, and they've left within a short period of time. I've had to have clients call, and there was no people to do the massages and things that they are specifically looking for. Shortages in terms of equipment. Of course, now, I'm getting there, but shortages in terms of equipment. The spa runs on a lot of equipment. Those are some of the challenges that I've had to be faced with. The marketing of the business, getting people to be here because of the location. Those are just some of the challenges, but we're getting there. And I just decide one day at a time, and that's it. But I'm not quitting.
No, of course. Yeah. So how do you market the business now?
So we market the business, Instagram. We've taken out pamphlets in our opening WhatsApp, on any social media platform, where they TikTok, where they word of mouth. But of course, my thing is the limitation of time and doing things myself. But we're doing what we can with the resources that we have.
Definitely. So since you have a long day, and your day starts at 5 to 12, where is your mind space at? Because I know entrepreneurship is more, for me, I always say it's more spiritual, and your mindset needs to be in the right. You need to have mental strength to be an entrepreneur. So where's your mind? What are the challenges mentally and how do you actually overcome those challenges?
I think personally, I'm an introvert, so I get my energy or re-energized when I have some quiet times. And I think once I knock off and close off, I spend 2 to 3 hours. Somebody once said to me, I want to see you during your shutdown time. How are you? Because your mind is constantly working. But I think having my own space helps me do that. Just look at the day, what happened, just analyzing everything. I think also getting into gym is good. And of course, the environment that I work in, I think that's why we have a spa, or that's why I went into the spa business. Is because when I come here and the aura, the smell, the music just sort of calms me down.
Yeah.
I could be here the whole day and I'll be fine mentally. Yeah.
If with all that you went through and businesses that you started, if you had to advise a younger you, and you have to pick like few advices, like maybe 3, what advices will you give?
1, I'd actually have 1 for myself. I'd
That's
actually
good.
have,
1 is more than enough.
I'd actually have 1 for myself. I'd say to my younger self, don't listen to the pressure of going and getting employment. That's definitely one of the things that I would say. At the time when I was young, studied, yes, did everything. I knew that I had the potential to start a business, always has. But I would advise myself, don't get employment. It's a trap. You're going to be trapped. You're going to get into employment. You're going to get credit. And by the time you wake up and you want to do what you want to do, you're not going to be able to do it full time because of the bills and everything that comes with it. So I'd say to my younger self, just don't go and apply for any job. Just start selling something.
You also touched on the skill level of the people. So as an entrepreneur, how do you upskill yourself? How do you keep yourself, on par? Because I mean, it's an ever-changing environment.
Yeah.
So how do you read a lot, or how do you upskill yourself?
So for me, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and fortunately, I got to study. So the study that I had went into, it was a BCom. So upskilling myself into that, and then just looking at other businesses and constantly, looking at South African businesses, because I believe that, well, my narrative is Africa for Africans. If we have everything in Africa, if we could just learn to exchange and work together and stop the greed, we would have a lot to give to the world. So that's just my narrative. So I read a lot, I look at podcasts, I keep myself abrupt with everything that's happening. I search for opportunities, expos, to meet other people, so I can go to those expos, maybe on a Sunday, attend an expo at Gallagher or wherever, where there's entrepreneurs and people that are selling. So I'm up to par on what's going on out there.
Who is that one entrepreneur that motivates you or inspire you?
So I'll say Steve Jobs. I know it's a cliche, but I'll say Steve Jobs. Yes, he's a varsity dropout, but I mean, he started a meaningful business. Because I believe that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you want to start a business, just do something that has meaning. You're trying to resolve a challenge that somebody out there has. And that's how businesses start. Not necessarily the money. The money will come, but if you're trying to solve something that somebody wants out there, then you've got it. For me, what I'm trying to solve in my business is a lot of people in South Africa that have depression, they don't know what to do, there's a stigma around it. But I believe that beauty is not only on the outside. So outside, yes, matters, because outside is instant gratification. Then you look good, you feel good, you're able to walk out, or you're able to stand in front of people and they tell you look good. But over and above that, that's why I didn't just say it's a spa, it's a beauty and wellness. Because there's a wellness side to it. Taking care of your mental strength, taking care of your body is very vital for you to face the world. And if you constantly have a place and a platform where you can do that, why not? And I mean, like, the mental side hasn't really worked out, but we do have mindfulness, which is something that is therapeutical, so you attend sessions. But I mean, this is a start. The bigger vision is bigger than this, the bigger vision.
Yeah, indeed. So where do people find you if they want to support the business, or they want to learn more, or they want to get in touch with you? Where do people find you?
So the first thing that they can do is they can drive up here, Leo Gem Innovation Works, 16 Scale Road, Unit 828. You'll find us there. That's where we're based physically. You can call us on 081-343-0252, or you can go to our Instagram pages of Olwethu Wellness and Beauty Boutique, or you can go to our TikTok of Olwethu Spa. You can go to our Facebook of Olwethu Wellness and Beauty Boutique. You'll find us there. If not, Google Olwethu Kitsegile, and then you're bound to find us. Yeah, and the details are there as well.
We appreciate the time that you set apart for us. It's been a great pleasure speaking to you. We wish you all the best, and
Thank you.
so that business can grow from level to level. From my side, Twarelo from Foggy Footwear. Thanks to anything Key Possibilities with beautiful clothing. Support local. Let's buy local. And everything you see from now on, there will be King Studios, King Photography Studios. Check them out. They're doing amazing stuff. Some of the stuff that we keep on posting is shot by a young man doing amazing jobs. We only, let's support each other. Let's buy local. Let's support these businesses so we can keep on employing other people. It's important to support small business so that we can grow our economy. The solution is with us. It's not out there. The solution is not out there. And most importantly, let's share the content so people can learn. We learn from people like from my sister. They've been through it. They failed. They dusted themselves up. Capital of no capital, plan of no plan. Studied of or didn't study the thing. Just do it. Just start. The trick is just starting. Start whatever that you're thinking of starting. I promise you, once the process starts unfolding, you will learn more and you will conquer. I'm out. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.